Well, hi, everybody, and welcome to the Buckeye Report, live from Bloomington, Indiana. It is week one as the Ohio State Buckeyes get ready to open up the 2023 season. We are live on site. Buckeyes Now has you covered all season long, and we are at Indiana for week one here. The Bucs are certainly excited to get this thing going. If you've joined us throughout the week, we appreciate that. If you haven't joined us yet this week, please do so. We go live at 7 a.m. every weekday morning. I'm Brendan Gulick with Anthony Meglin, and we talk a lot of things about the Ohio State Buckeyes, what we've learned along the way, and certainly what we are hoping and expecting as the season rolls along. Anthony, what are those pregame thoughts and jitters you have here this morning as you get ready for week one?
So good. It looks like a beautiful day over in Bloomington. It's just really excited to see it all in action. And finally, quit talking about it. Right, we're done talking about it. It's no more of, hey, what I think is going to happen, what may happen. We're finally getting the opportunity to see what will happen, and it's an exciting time. Can't wait for kickoff today at 3:30. And for me, when the Buckeyes are on offense, I'm really excited to watch the quarterback. I know that's a cliche thing to say, but that's really what we're here for. How is Kyle McCord going to look? Is he going to look comfortable in the pocket? Is he going to make big plays when he needs to? Is he going to make the common play when he needs to? I know that's been a huge thing as Coach Ryan Day's been really hitting on every day throughout training camp. And then when Devin Brown gets his chance, how's he going to look in his first real action as a Buckeye? What's it going to look like when he's seeing live bullets? That's what I'm really looking forward to on the Buckeyes offensive side. Flipping it on the defensive side, how are they going to contain Jalen Lucas? He's the hot button for Indiana. They're going to use him in a number of different ways, out of the backfield, in the slot, on the outside. How are the Buckeyes going to adjust to it? How's the secondary going to play? And how are we going to stop the big play? That's really those two biggest things that I'm looking forward to seeing shake out this afternoon.
As you can tell, the weather couldn't be any more perfect, right? It is sunny. I would say it's warm, but it's not smoking hot. Temperatures in the mid-80s. There's a good little breeze here. It's a little harder to feel as you get down lower. But, I mean, I can see all of the Big Ten flags all around the top of this bowl in the stadium, and they're ripping pretty good in the breeze. So I don't know if punts will get up quite high enough where that's going to be a huge factor, but it might be a little bit breezy. So we'll keep our eye on that along the way. I'm certainly interested in the things that you brought up, but I suppose to just bring up something slightly different, I really want to watch this offensive line. This is probably the first time in a little while the offensive line has come into a season kind of unproven. You know, generally what you're going to get from your two guards as they return. Carson Hinsman has never played for Ohio State. He's your starting center. That's obviously a huge role to be stepping into, and the coaching staff must have plenty of confidence in him or they wouldn't put him there. But how is he going to do in his first action as a Buckeye? And how well can they keep Kyle McCord and or Devin Brown on their feet during the game? Those are certainly important parts to let the rest of the skill players go do what they need to do. I anticipate that Indiana is going to probably try to get after McCord and Brown, see if they can make them a little uncomfortable. I remember a few years ago when Indiana played at Ohio Stadium, they really pressured Justin Fields, and he kind of struggled. They didn't do it so much to C.J. Stroud, maybe a slightly different skill set from Fields and Stroud, but given the reality that McCord and Brown are dealing with in this kind of situation, I think Indiana is going to say, we got nothing to lose. Let's ratchet it up and see what we can do to put some heat on these guys. So can the offensive line handle crazy-looking blitzes? And can McCord and Brown manage the offense well enough to go out and maybe jump on IU early and put this thing away?
I would also add to that, how is the Indiana front, with all those transfers that we talked about, and Andre Carter especially, how are they gonna attack the Ohio State offensive line? You make a great point. You got new guys that they're on the two edges and in the center. How is Ohio State's offensive line going to respond to some high quality opponent? That are all transfers in their first time in Indiana, but it's still going to be there'll be a force to reckon with on the defensive line.
The expectation is that the Buckeyes are healthy. We haven't heard anything to the contrary. The team will release its pregame availability report at 1:40 p.m. today. So at that point, we'll know for sure. But we haven't heard anything through camp or from coaches along the way that seem like surprises. So I'm hopeful that we don't have any great surprises coming up here in a little bit when the team releases that report. Certainly, the guys that you're expecting to play at the primary skill positions, I mean, we've seen them coming off the practice field. They look great. So it sure feels like full steam ahead for Ohio State here this afternoon. And I guess the only other thing I want to bring up, Anthony, before we wrap is that I want to see if Ohio State can find a way to overcome whatever early curveballs get thrown their way. For folks that have been watching college football, throughout the last couple of days as the season opens up, I think it's been a consistent theme that we've seen some slower starts. And, sometimes there's just a little clunkiness to how the offense can look early in the year, especially if you've got some new players in critical spots. How are they going to handle it? And if some adversity comes their way, if there's an early turnover or a big mistake early in the game, how does that play out? So those are a couple things I'm really looking forward to watching this team, see how resilient they are.
Love it. Those are great points. Adversity is definitely going to strike. And even the games this morning, a couple slow starts. In Michigan, I know they were off to a slow start. Some other ones around the country too. So it's a great point. How are they going to respond to any type of adversity that they're going to face this afternoon? Because it will come. It'll be great to see.
Follow us along the way all day long. BuckeyesNow _FN on social media. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram, of course. We'll be right here on our YouTube channel postgame. First, we'll stream the press conference that Ryan Day will kick off. And I anticipate, if it's like in years past, we'll probably hear from a quarterback and from a coordinator. That hasn't been confirmed to us, but I anticipate that's the case. And then we'll have some additional opportunities outside of the press conference we stream to talk to a few other players, and we'll upload some video to the channel after the fact with that. But in the meantime, Anthony, you and I will come right back here post game, and we'll do a little deeper dive on how this thing turns out. But it's fun to be talking about ball that's actually in front of us. Can't wait to do it. So BuckeyesNow.com for all the latest. We'll be here all season long, and certainly hope that you'll join us throughout the course of the year.